Hello everyone, welcome back to more Dark Souls. And first things first, in the last episode we were running around the Ash Lake and we met the Path of the Dragon Covenant, but there's nothing else here really, so we're all gonna be warping back to some other places in the beginning here. And I imagine if we didn't have the Lordvessel, how we'd have to run all the way back up, back through Ash Lake, back through the Great Hollow, all through Blighttown, just to get into Blighttown, and that's still far away from anything else as well. You still have a trek to get all the way back up to the Firelink. But luckily we do have the Lordvessel and we can warp around. I come here, but there's really nothing to do here. I didn't have any humanity to offer anyway, so I end up warping back to the Firelink Shrine, and we go from there. So, as the title of this video will show, there's gonna be a boss fight, but that's near the end of this episode, and some people are probably gonna be, well, probably not gonna like the boss fight that much. I have to give fair warning. I'd say it's not particularly my fault, but it is what it is. You'll see when it comes. So we're here at the Firelink Shrine. I didn't really know what to do, so let's talk to this guy.
Hello. Then, as promised.
Nothing's changed here really. He still has some of the Logan's spells that I haven't purchased yet, but they're all still expensive, and not really something I need at this point in time. And let's see, I can hear this guy snoring. So he's, if you remember in one of the previous episodes, this guy almost took me somewhere. What's his name? King Seeker Framt. And I ran away before he could take me, because it looked like he was taking me somewhere weird. So anyway, I jumped back down to the New London ruins to meet the blacksmith here and do some upgrading. So that was just a skip from the Firelink Shrine to the New London ruins. I've shown that before the journey, so I thought I could skip that without much hassle. And as you see, I ascend a longsword to a magic longsword. I want to get into the magic pathway and hopefully get an enchanted weapon. I didn't know it at the time, but whoa!
You really helped break the monotony.
I almost fell off there. So yeah, that wasn't intended. I didn't want to fall off. I just wanted to skip around. So I'm back up at the Firelink Shrine. That's all I really did back down there. I'll talk more about magic weapons and enchanted weapons in another episode.
Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake.
I was worried because I've come back here and he's been sleeping a few times, and I didn't really want to hit him because I assumed he'd get angry and I'd have to go back to that church priest, and spend souls just to make sure he absorbs my sins or something, so that he can talk to me again. So I didn't want to hit him, but I didn't see any other way.
You have retrieved the Lordvessel. After 1,000 years, it is you.
I think this is the same thing he said before.
You.
Yeah, must be. This part is kind of freaky, but this time I will follow him.
Forgive me. I really should calm down. Now, let us take that vessel on a journey. I assume that you are ready. Now, be still.
Woo! No! And I died, being eaten by some snake thing. Oh well. Black screen. Oh, something's happening. Oh, I guess I didn't die. I get regurgitated here somewhere.
This is the Firelink Chamber for the successor of Lord Gwyn. Now, place the Lordvessel on the altar.
Why? Where are we? Somewhere below. Oh, the dude hanging there looks weird, man. Doesn't look like we have any other path. Weird looking area.
What is it?
Okay. Hold your horses. I guess I put it here. There's a door here. Okay. What the hell? That's one big ass vessel. I was carrying that around with me, please. That's so somewhat unrealistic. Look at my rotting skin. Okay, something's happening. Okay. Oh, I remember this one. That's near Anolondo. I see, so we had to do this to get past the yellow gates. Okay. Good. So I guess we had to do this, we had to come down here. Luckily I did come down here now. And it's also lucky because in the Tomb of Giants there's a yellow gate there as well, so I wouldn't have been able to fight the boss even if I had gone down the Tomb of Giants previously. This also acts like a bonfire, I guess. I hope I can still warp around, since, well, if I leave the Lordvessel here, well, let's just hope I can. And I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, luckily I didn't stay or continue down the Tomb of Giants because I'd have come across a yellow gate and couldn't proceed, and which would have been annoying, having gone through all that in the Tomb of Giants.
Well. As Kingseeker, I shall now instruct you, the Lord's successor, in your next task. To achieve your fate, fill the vessel with powerful souls, commensurate to the great soul of Gwyn. Scarce few possess such brilliant souls. Grave Lord Nito, the Witch of Izalith, the 4 Kings of New Londo.
Okay, this sounds like the guys we saw in the beginning cutscene.
Lord Gwyn's former confidant, Seath the Scaleless. All of their souls are required to... Are you ready? Then we shall return.
Yeah, I was in a bit of a rush, so I had to skip a bit. Woohoo, I get eaten again. Again, the dude looks weird. Looks weird. Hanging there. And we're back. Yeah, I had to do something real quick, so I had to quit the game, which is why I skipped near the end. But the most important stuff he already said the most important things.
I am pleased to see you well.
Me too.
Is it something urgent?
Not really. I haven't fed him anything. Don't know what that does. I can warp. I guess I can warp down from here.
The beings who possess these souls have outlived their usefulness, or have chosen the path of the wicked. As the primordial serpent, I implore you to defeat them and claim their
That's
soul.
nice. They have outlived their purpose.
Let there be no guilt. Let there be no vacillation.
It's a great thing to say.
Then stay.
Sorry. So anyway, that's that. That's the one thing we needed to do. before continuing the game, continuing the story, because like I said, otherwise we'd have been stuck at Yellow Gates, which I think I'm probably will be doing next, not in the too far distant future. But for now, let's get on with doing a boss fight. So I skip all the way to the Darkroot Garden. That's the first bonfire in the Darkroot Garden. If you remember this place, this is where that we use the Crest of Artorias and where all the Fog Ring users are, the Forest Covenant. I'm gonna skip around fighting the guys here. If you see this, I was gonna mention this puddle here is near the beginning, so that people aren't too confused. And yes, that was a parry attack. So anyway, so that puddle there is near the beginning of the area. You'd have seen it. I wanted to point it out as I entered the forest, but you can see it. You'll see it if you look back. Basically near the beginning, I'm basically running to the right of the doorway that I entered using the Crest of Artorias. And just walking around finding out where the boss is for this area. I know I mentioned before that I left him be, but yeah, there's some dude up there with a arrow, with a bow and arrow. I can't be bothered to fight him. I tried fighting him before. He keeps retreating, plus he's invisible. So I figure, meh, screw it. I'll just go and continue my journey. He doesn't look like he's chasing me, so more of the foresty area. Be wary of him. Okay, stuck. Can we go here? Is that a... That looks like a drop. Looks like a pathway actually. I can hear something coming. Yay, more of these plant things. I'll take care of them off screen. Okay, so that's done. Basically in the same area. Let's take this. And there's a pathway here. Let's see where this goes. And this is actually near the where the Hydra was in the Darkroot Basin down below. I came up this way once, and I was confused as to where the boss was. I thought it was in the area to the left here, but it wasn't, so I went back. But I'm gonna skip coming back this way because the boss is actually one way to the boss is through this pathway. The other way would have been going through where Alvina is, the person you speak to for the Forest Covenant Guild. Oh, Covenant basically. And Forest Hunters Covenant, yeah. So this is, if you remember before, where I fought some of the werewolves. I just wanted to point out how to get to the boss, because I didn't know. So for anyone who wants to know how to reach the boss, this is the way with me. This is the general direction. I do run around in circles a bit here and there, but generally this is where you want to go. I came here before as well. See, is there a river down there? A valley basically. And if you remember from up here, if you go left, this is where you'll end up meeting Alvina. But if you go straight, you'll see. This on the left is where some of those mushroom guys are as well. And that is where you want to go. That bridge there with the bright shiny gate on the other side. Sorry, I was reading the message. I kind of know the boss that I'll be facing. And yeah, as I mentioned before, some people might not like how I handle this boss. So what can I say? It is what it is. I try to lay down a summon sign, and I do walk around and wait for a bit. But I cut that out because, well, it's just me walking around in circles waiting really. And no one comes anyway. No one summons me, so I have to face the boss on my own. Here, I basically laid down a summon sign just to see what kind of boss it is and how, just to learn the boss basically, learn the boss's attacks and whatnot. Not wholly important. Okay. So, I'm assuming there's gonna be a boss fight here somewhere. All the signs point to there being one. Here I'm just weighing up which shield to use. The Crash shield and my lightning spider shield. They're both pretty decent. I stay with the Crash shield. It's a nice looking area, definitely. You can hear the waterfall in the background as well. Good for you. Let's read some of the messages. Grief. Okay. Let's run around in the pond. Okay, there looks like there's an item there. Okay, let's see what that is behind that. What is that? An altar with a big sword. It looks like. Let's see what this is first. A hornet ring. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a big sword. Let's check out that ring first. For some reason, I'm wearing the rusted iron ring. I think that's because when I cut out a part where I was in Blighttown running around the swamp and I used the ring. But at least by looking at that hornet ring, I forget what it does. Nothing important. I don't think. Oh yeah, it increases counter attack, something like that. But hey, at least it made me switch to my bellowing crest ring and homing soul mass just in case. I have to go here, I guess. Sorrow. Yep. That's a big sword. Whoa! A wolf! And he's taken the sword. Okay. Run, maybe. Oh. Okay, and as you can see, sometimes there's a bit of lag in this game. I mean, in this fight, especially when the wolf is really close to the screen. That's a bit annoying. And I also didn't realize how much damage my homing soul mass was actually doing. You know, I was paying too much attention to the wolf itself to actually notice how much damage I was doing. And as you can see, it does quite a lot of damage. And once I realized that, I thought, hey, maybe I should, use something else to make it a bit more fairer. But yeah, there's sort of a bit of frame rate lag kind of put me off that, so I thought, screw it, I'll just use the homing soul mass. So yeah, he's almost dead now. The great grey wolf Sith. Yeah. Okay. So that was a quick fight. I mean, you can't blame me. I was a bit over leveled, yeah, but that's the nature of an open world game. Not really my fault. And yeah, so we get 30,000 souls. And that's the end of this episode. Sorry if people find that boss fight a bit, annoying. But thanks for watching.